Hey everybody, thanks for showing up for this awesome Antelope special edition of Around the Block with GoodBlock. We have the leaders from all the chains here that are part of the Antelope Coalition, and it's just really exciting. There's never been, I think, a chance for all of us to speak publicly on a podcast about what's going on with the Antelope, with Leap, and this is a great day to do it because this is EOS Independence Day. So let's bring on Yves from EOS, ENF, Guillaume from UX Network, and Lukas from Wax, and of course I'm your friend Douglas from Telos. Guys, so great to have you here. Who'd have thunk it, right? A year ago.
Love it, man.
Who'd have thunk it? Love it.
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah. For sure.
It's really good to have you here. It's I was saying recently, a year ago, I think we maybe kind of knew who each other were, but we certainly never spoke. And now we are working together very efficiently and collegially, and all the Lees, the good ones, about how we move
all the good ones, anyways. Yes.
All the good Lees, yeah. And so it's like great. It's like I think that this is actually the bigger positive sort of like mind twisting thing that is happening. Not just the break from the old regime, but that was great and necessary. But this is like the power of this new alliance, this new sort of NATO of independent states that share the same goals and want to build a better world for themselves. So, and their people.
Super exciting, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Y'all need no introduction, but let's do one anyway. Well, let's go around. Just do a brief introduction for people who may not be familiar with you and your chain and your role there. You want to start, Yves?
Sure. So my name is Yves La Rose. I am the founder and CEO of the EOS Network Foundation. I've been in the Antelope space now for 5 years, I guess 4.5 years or so. I've been in blockchain for about 10 years, maybe a little bit more than 10 years at this point. So I've been here for quite some time, and really excited about the coalition. And I'm laughing and I'm losing my words because we've had a lot of banter, the four of us, over the last year or so. As you mentioned, we didn't really know each other very well before. I knew some of you individually, but not the four of us. And I'm laughing because the amount of outtakes and everything we've done to get here, it's just like a regular Thursday meeting, basically. And so you can already feel that the mood and everything is very light because we know each other very well at this point. We've worked a lot together, spent hundreds of hours together by now. But it is the first time that the four of us alone are getting on a podcast. So I'm really excited about that and looking to see what comes out of this.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so as always, we're going by beard length. So Guillaume, you're next.
Yeah, I'm still trying to compete with Yves, but like I can't. It's just not happening.
You need the white to
exactly.
You haven't been in Antelope long enough if there's no white. You've got Lukas has got the white. I got the white. Douglas has got the white.
But yeah, so I'm Guillaume Babin. I'm essentially. I'm the CTO of Origin, as well as a lead core developer for UX Network. I'm also the CEO of EOS Titan, which is a blog producer on EOS Mainnet. I've been in the crypto space since 2011, so it's been quite a while. It's been quite a journey. I've also been into the Antelope, formerly EOS.io, now Antelope ecosystem since the beginning, since 4.5 years ago. So UX Network, we've built that chain with the intent of essentially being a true incarnation of what DeFi should be. If we look at our team's background, we're pretty much all from the finance industry. So we've been working at various banks and like investment banks and trading desks and hedge funds and things like that. So when we speak with our colleagues from that industry, we've asked them essentially, what do you want in a blockchain platform? Because they're very interested in the general idea, but they all feel that the current offering is not really what they need. So we've been asking them questions, we've been discussing with them what's missing and what do they need. And having gathered all these answers, we're in the process of building it all. So that's what we're doing with UX.
Great. That brings us to you and your 5 o'clock shadow, Lukas.
Awesome, Doug. Thank you for putting this together. This is super exciting for us to actually get together and discuss the current state of affairs. My name is Lukas Sliwka. I am a CTO at Wax. I have been in blockchain space since 2018, so not as long as you guys are OGs. The funny thing is I was hired by the founders of Wax, William and Jonathan, to determine at the time whether we need to build our own blockchain, whether we can use what technology should be used for Wax. And I remember, evaluating, 5, 6 different chains at the time, and we ended up going with Antelope or EOS.io at the time back in 2019. And it has been an amazing ride. Definitely, I feel that we made the right choice when it comes to technology. Wax arguably is pushing the boundaries of what's possible on blockchain today. We've been very fortunate to, focus on digital assets and growing ecosystem, allowing for people to create their own NFTs and build Web3 applications for NFTs, especially focusing on gaming and as it is today, we're doing a lot of transactions on chain, we do have a lot of daily active wallets as well because of the gaming part, I have been so excited about the fact that, this initiative kicked off, because I remember back towards the end of last year, beginning of this year, I was looking around and I'm like, man, how are we going to scale? What's the future for this, right? What's the future for the technology? And then, and finally we have the answer. And, the momentum that this group has gained over the last 8 months, it is just outstanding. We went from just cursory conversations to full execution mode in no time, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Well, and you should, and listen, don't be modest. If my math is right, Wax is the most used blockchain in existence in terms of daily transactions. Is that not right?
Yeah, if you look at DApp Radar has a good industry overview section. So you can kind of look at transactions per protocol, and we push about 24 million transactions per day. The closest blockchain is like 2 million transactions per day, right? So and then just drops off from there. I guess by focusing on user experience and pushing hard into NFTs and gaming, that kind of created this ecosystem of users and Web3 applications, which resulted with really, really high utilization.
So
I wish that translated to a market cap that is reflective of that.
Room for growth, man. Room for growth.
This is one of those head scratchers that I'm always kind of trying to figure out, because I'm looking at the L2s on Ethereum, for example, and their market caps, and there's just very little going on when it comes to DAUs and transaction metrics.
Yeah, and you have the users.
Room for growth for sure.
Yeah, I think all of us are at various levels of that same head scratcher of why our values aren't higher. And you know what? It might be that we never worked together before, and that now that we do, we have a reason to sort of boost each other up, and nobody's doing it at the expense of themselves, but it's no longer that, right?
For sure.
And I just I guess I got to introduce myself, but I just think, what if can you imagine if you had gone to an Ethereum based stack instead of Antelope?
that would have been very, very difficult to actually solve for the use cases that we're solving today. That would not be possible. So definitely we made the right choice, and I am beyond ecstatic with the ENF coalition emerging from the dumpster fire that was EOS.io before that, and I'm super happy to be part of this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. So I'm Douglas Horn. I wrote the white paper and pulled the original group together for Telos, and have been working on it from the start. Also working with some of you guys in the EOS mainnet launch group way back when. And I am not the leader of Telos. There's a lot, but I'm highly engaged. I'm close to it. But my role is on the Telos core developers, and now spending a lot of time with you guys on Antelope, which I think is pays direct benefits to Telos. For those who don't know, Telos, we launched in the end of 2018 after there were some, pretty legitimate concerns about the path that the other company was taking and whatnot in development. And we wanted to bring in the governance tools and a number of things that were promised by the white paper. And in our airdrop to do a minor remedy to the extreme centralization, concentration of wealth, and so that is how we grew. But we're very focused on right now. Telos is very focused on environmental, social, and governance, which just happens to be kind of a hot thing right now in investing, and just really bringing opportunity to developing nations and communities within developed nations that can take advantage of what we have, low cost and a high assistance for groups. So that's sort of where we're focusing right now as a sort of a general purpose chain. It's, you got your hands in a lot of pies, but that's what we're doing. My company is GoodBlock. It's and you're around the block with us. So so welcome. All right. There's stuff out there for us to discuss, that's been discussed about how did we come together? What's the history? And I think if anybody wants to find out about that, those resources are there. We'll put some links in. But what I think people care about right now is what this means to them. So the four of us are super excited about what's coming. We haven't had a chance to fully share that yet. And so let's talk about first piece there is Leap 3.1. That's being deployed today. We're filming this, obviously ahead because we don't have any time machines, but this is going to be coming out on the day of the release of Leap 3.1, the activation of it on the EOS mainnet. And Yves, you have a special way of looking at this, so I think it's really cool. So do you want to explain that and what it means to EOS and everyone?
Sure. I mean, Leap 3.1 has been in the works now for almost a year. It started off really as an idea, somewhat out of necessity when we noticed that the code stack wasn't being maintained anymore. No issues were being resolved. No PRs were being pushed. Basically, it was quite stale. And Leap 3.1 is the culmination of that. It's basically the community taking over. It really is the embodiment of Web3, where the community took over, fought back, and is now in charge. And Leap 3.1, that the basically when you see this, as you said, today is going to be the hard fork. And for us, it's very symbolic. We're calling it the EOS Independence Day. It is EOS Independence. So today, essentially, anybody not running Leap 3.1 effectively will lose synchronization with the network. And so everybody is updating. This process has been going on now weekly in terms of, let's say, community updates and community participation, block producers, dApp developers, enterprises, etc. I believe we're in week 37 or something like that of recorded weekly calls leading up to this. We're going to be having a go, no go vote at 1200 UTC. The day that you're watching this, 1300 UTC is when all the signatures gathered should already be there. So the thresholds will have been met. And in the code, in that multi-signature, then there's the timestamp for 1300 UTC, which is 9 a.m. Eastern, whereby then anybody can execute, and essentially the features and the functionalities of Leap 3.1 that we're enabling. So most of the people are already running Leap 3.1, but that hard fork essentially enables features whereby if you don't run Leap 3.1, then you lose synchronization with the network because the block producers, at least 15 of them, will have upgraded. So it's quite symbolic. It is, as part of the rebrand with Antelope as well. That's why it's called Leap. It is really a culmination of the work that we've been doing here with the three of you on the call. It's a culmination of the partnerships that we've created over the last year. It really is that symbolic EOS independence. And so, this should be today should be a really exciting day.
Congratulations.
There should be a banking holiday, my friend.
Yeah, maybe it will one day.
Make it a federal holiday going forward.
Make it a bank holiday. That's right.
Federal holiday in the nation of EOS. Yeah.
In the nation of EOS. Yeah. So it's.
Are you saying the transactions are not going to work on that day, or is that?
No, they're going to be free, right? Isn't that the idea?
Isn't bank holidays like the whole idea that we're trying to get rid of? That's great. Congratulations. I think we're all really happy for you. We're all looking to do the same thing ourselves, and we're all running the software. Do you guys want to go around and I'd like to hear what on Wax and UX your plans are, and share what our plans are on Telos.
For sure. Yeah, this is super exciting. Before ENF really kicked off, last year I was looking at the same situation that Yves mentioned, where there's just been no upgrades or updates to EOS IO stack. So we're kind of looking around the room and we're like, okay, well, I guess we gotta now hire engineers and just kind of do it ourselves. And maintaining a blockchain stack is never easy, and it requires massive expertise in this area. And there's not that many people around who are able to work on issues like faster finality or IBC and security upgrades and all that stuff. So the fact that this is here now, it's super exciting for us. We will be upgrading to Antelope 3.1 over the next 60 to 90 days, maybe even sooner. But I know our block producers are already running those nodes. We are super excited about the new features that are coming out, both on the usability side. I know that my developers are extremely excited about actions returning values. So that's the biggest thing that they are talking about. And then also, being able to estimate the resource costs better, because right now the way we are doing it is kind of kludgy. So all these type of features and security enhancements that are coming up are going to be very much welcomed. In addition to also operational enhancements, right? Running the block producer nodes and the supporting infrastructure is not something that's very easy to do, requires a lot of knowledge. And the tools that are upcoming as part of this release and future tools that are going to make, operating the blockchain for our community easier is super exciting.
To your point about the core developers, right? Can you imagine if we were all on our own trying to scoop up whatever core developers we could, having them work siloed? Yeah, it'd be impossible. In retrospect, it only worked. This is the only way it could really work, meaning be successful, right? We could have tried a lot of things, but this is the way. Having the combined power of all the developers and the ability to pool our resources and our aims and everything, it's the only way that's going to lead to success, and it is going to lead to success. But if we hadn't done this, man, I don't know where we'd be right now.
Yeah, we basically had exactly the same thought than Lukas and the Wax guys. About a year ago, we were thinking, okay, like the whole thing is just coming to a halt. Like Block One is like gone, and they're whatever they've produced is of such bad quality, and we're like, we're gonna have to take over that code base development. And of course, it's let's say it's a it's a pretty daunting task to do on your own. So I mean, we were going in that direction when at some point. I think it was kind of funny. I ended up joining Eden just for fun, and Yves is the one who actually vouched for me, because you need to basically have someone vouch for
the
for
only
you.
ever person I've inducted. Yes,
I know, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I needed an NFT for that. Like it's quite an achievement.
Did you get a piece? Did you use the Eve referral code? So
Yeah.
I think the people that induct you get one of their NFTs. So you're the only person that actually have the Eve one. Yes,
I'm the only one.
I think
so. And then I started talking with Yves, and we discussed what would become, I guess, the coalition. So we kind of started working on that, talking to the other chains, like bringing them to the table, and eventually the rest is history. Like the four of us came together and decided to start tackling all these problems. And our team at the Origin, we are the recipient of one of the first grants from the coalition, the biggest one so far as well, for IBC and instant finality that we're working on right now. And I'd like to thank you guys and your constituents as well, because this is a massive opportunity for all of us, but for us as well. And this is really exciting.
Don't count your eggs too soon, buddy. You gotta actually deliver the goods.
No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure. No,
but just do something nobody's done before. Just do something nobody's done before. Go for it.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, it's actually going very well. Like we just released a few days ago the IBC solution on the Jungle and Kylan test nets, which is a huge milestone for
the
whole Antelope Coalition.
We were talking about this 4 years ago.
I know,
and now it's here.
Exactly. Literally, like 2-3 weeks after the EOS mainnet launch, like people were already talking about that, saying, "Oh yeah, it's coming 2 weeks. It's gonna be there." And yeah, it just took like 4 years and a half.
I think it's going to be fun to be able to go on the Telos testnet, and because you and I were just talking, that's I think next, and Wax testnet, and be able to send, like, be able to do the IBC stuff ahead of time. I love testnets and using them, because you're like kind of like ahead of everybody else, and it's like, oh, okay, this is what it's going to be, and you kind of start planning and getting the wheels turning in your head. What are your plans for actually deploying or moving the protocol to the hard fork?
So I guess for Leap, we're also very excited about the action return value feature, which is I think something that's going to be as a smart contract developer myself. There's plenty of occasions where I was like, damn, I wish I had that thing, So now I'm going to have it, and very, very excited about the stuff we're going to be building with this. This is massive help in anything that has to do with, I guess, composability, like making smart contracts talk together and building more complex structures on top of existing.
Well, that's
ones.
the next thing we're going to drill down into, right? We've talked about it, but we haven't talked about it in a way that anybody other than us understands it yet. So we're going to. That's the next thing talk about.
Yeah. And I mean, like, just to answer a question real quick, we're also planning to upgrade to Leap 3.1, where we're starting on the essentially backporting all the changes that we made to the UX network software stack into that 3.1, the Leap release. And then, I'm probably targeting something like Lukas, like around like 90 days upgrade on UX network.
That's great. In Telos, we are also doing that process of porting in, or basically just testing everything, all our system contracts and other innovations that are on top of the vanilla Antelope code. And so that adds a bit of time, but we are on track to do that, I think, 4 weeks. It's going to happen in October. We've here's another great thing that we would have with or without the coalition, but it just makes it's just like an example of how, an earliest example of how these things were going to be beneficial, right? This is the little hint ahead of time. we have a lot of the same block producers on all of our networks, right? Or sort of a mix, right? And so I sort of put out the call a couple months ago. I said, okay, guys, it's another protocol thing. We've done this before. It'd be great if someone could step up, who'd be sort of our czar, our leader of this. And it turns out it's the same people who are doing pretty much the same people who are doing the EOS launch, right? It's the same BPs, and that's a great system, right? They'll have, there's no benefit in everybody having to reinvent the wheel or start these things from scratch or not, learn from those who go before. So there'll probably be things that they learn on the EOS launch that we're able to, take advantage of on the Telos launch. Not that at that point we haven't done that. We've done this before, right? We've all done this before. So it's not, I don't anticipate problems, but practice makes perfect. And so it'll probably be many of the same block producers on Wax and UX. So, in fact, I know it is, right? So that's another kind of benefit that we have of running the same stuff, but I think it works better. Okay. So tell me some things that you can actually do now on EOS and all the chains that are so exciting because of these protocol things. What are the users going to notice?
Users wise, I think so Guillaume and Lukas both mentioned one, so I'll let them pick up that one again. A lot of the functions are actually for developer focus, but one thing that is new in there that we added will be more stable API connections and more monitoring for that. So it should facilitate the user experience on that front, but also intrinsics. So we're working on our EVM. You guys have your EVM. Essentially having the intrinsics now at the protocol layer will facilitate full RPC compatibility. So the users won't necessarily see that. What they'll see is just more projects porting over because the ease of which people can deploy on now Antelope will be augmented. And so it's not necessarily that they see this, it's that they'll see the effects of.
Yeah, exactly. And that same question, I guess, Lukas or Guillaume, like your developers are super excited for that feature. Why? Why are they excited? What does that let them do for the users that they couldn't do before?
So I think I just want to echo Yves that this first set of updates is going to be really going back and taking care of the backlog that has accumulated over the last couple of years. And that's a very needed housekeeping upgrade, right? That we gotta keep up with security upgrades and operational upgrades, and then development of the these developer tools that everyone needs. So on day one, there's not going to be really a change for Web3 users, but they will see I think faster development and then delivery of projects of higher quality. But I am super excited about the future, right? So the feature that Guillaume is working on, IBC and instant finality, those are going to be massive features that will allow us to create much better Web3 applications, right? So having full finality within a couple of seconds is massive, because now developers are going to be able to build true applications geared towards mainstream consumers without having this massive friction of waiting for transactions to complete and or doing a whole bunch of heavy gymnastics on the architecture side, where you have to account for forks and have compensating transactions and building Web3 applications. That's why it's so hard, right? Like you gotta
or just
you gotta
bridges,
think about these things.
Right?
Or just bridges.
Bridge is
right?
the most insecure part of DeFi.
Exactly. So being able to have this instant finality and then native IBC is going to not only strengthen our ecosystem, but it will also allow us to build more robust products. Because we do believe at Wax that the future is multi-chain, right? So there are going to be chains that specialize in various different things, because that's what they're good at. And in order to tap into that benefit of specialization, you need to have a very strong bridging framework. At Wax, we talk about this, liquidity everywhere, utility on Wax. And we are going to be very hard pushing into multi-chain architecture. So yeah, super excited about that.
We really see the same kind of demand from the, I guess, like the financial world. They want to be able to essentially not be captive of a specific chain. They want to have that mobility. They want to be able to go where resources are available or where liquidity is available. They want to have like this really, really fast, transaction cycle between different platforms to provide liquidity and correct
Web 2 experience, Web 2 latency.
Exactly. They want the Web 2 experience, but in the Web 3 framework, essentially. Right. So nobody else other than outside of Antelope is providing that right now. Like if you look at any other blockchain platform, I mean, either it's super slow or clunky or cumbersome or whatever, or it barely works. Like it shut down.
No, it works Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. It's okay. It's just like traditional Web 2.
Or it works until somebody on the dev team anonymously rugs.
Exactly.
It's always an inside job.
I really don't envy developers on Ethereum or the L2s. I mean, Ethereum after the merge, their finality is about 15 to 30 minutes sometimes. So. How do you build applications?
Let's talk about it 1 second. So in interest of time, I think if we actually wanted to talk about all the great things, the side chains, all the parachains, all the things that we're going to be able to do with IBC, we need to get together again and do another one of these just on that, because it's such a big topic. We could never do it justice. Yep. And it's super bullish and it's super exciting, and we can geek out like crazy on that.
IBC is like that. IBC and instant finality together is what we've been doing, but now on chain. It's like the coalition of the chains, but now in a technical format of now the chains are actually one, but separate.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We got some people have to leave in a second, but I want to invite you guys back to do just that at our earliest possibility, because I know you're traveling a lot, Yves, but I think that getting this across is going to be really important.
It's massive.
Thank you guys for being here. We have a block stuff of the week. And Lukas, we're going to do a little short one because it's something you were starting to talk about the merge has happened. What's going to be the blurge after the merge of people actually discovering what the outcome of this thing that they've been hyping for themselves for so long. I mean, it happened. Congratulations. That's fantastic. It needed to happen. But is it the second coming, or are there some things that are not that maybe people will be a little disappointed with now that they see what it actually is?
Yeah, well, I'm glad that Ethereum is moving towards the technology that we're already on and have been using for the last 4 years. So welcome to the club. But there's one feature that we have been over the last couple of weeks. We have been testing a lot of our systems, and we have bridges into Ethereum enabling movement of fungible tokens and NFTs. And the finality went from about 6 minutes to 15 or more, which means that user experience for any sort of Ethereum-based Web3 applications is going to be impacted, right? Imagine going to Amazon store and every time you purchase something or click something, you have to wait 15 minutes for it to actually be confirmed.
So are you going to your users and partners and saying, hey guys, with these types of transactions,
we had to actually communicate. Yeah, we communicated to our community that, like, hey, if you're using Wax DeFi or bridges, you need to wait longer. You need to wait 3 times as long for things to happen, to claim your assets, to send things across, right? And that's just one impact. But if you're building a game on Ethereum, for example, that requires some sort of user interaction, imagine waiting 15 seconds for each click or each action that you do. it's a challenge that developers will have to solve. Yeah.
Yeah, the block times didn't get any faster, right? It's a consistent 12 seconds per block. The fees seem to be down right now, but that's hard to say what'll happen when like the next big NFT launches. If you think about it, so 12 seconds, I like to flip this. Like everyone says, okay, we're half a second, they're 12 seconds. I like to say they're 5 blocks per minute still, and we're 120 blocks per minute. So there's a lot of things and since we already have the EVM, we look at it like, Telos EVM is like ETH 3.0 already, because in addition to everything they did, like the speed is faster, the gas fees are flat. There's so many of these things that are advantages that, they never even considered for 2.0. So when Trust EVM comes out, it'll have likely the exact same, very similar feature set. And yeah, it's like you said, Lukas, it's like, welcome to 2017, guys.
Yeah, Antelope community has amazing tools and they are going to just keep improving to build applications that are closer and closer to user experience of what Web 2.0 is today, which hopefully will allow us all to attract not crypto people or highly technical people to our ecosystem, but truly build applications used by mainstream consumer. In order to be able to do that technically, you need to have very short finality. You need to have really high speed when it comes to transaction throughput, and we're almost there, right?
Yep. All those things we're building
next year. Yep. Next year is going to be extremely exciting for Antelope community and Wax and you guys as well. So I just can't wait to see what happens.
Okay. Well, I think we have to wrap it up. I hope we can do another one of these very soon, because we could do an hour on IBC and instant finality alone, and it would be an awesome hour. So thank you guys. Thanks, Yves, Lukas, Guillaume. Thanks for being here on Around the Block. And
thank you for having us.
You back as soon as we do it, because this is exciting. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Douglas.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
Cheers, guys.